Hello, I'm Tom Sparrow and this is how to do a shear lashing and also a clove hitch, and I'm going to talk about how to do them but also how to teach them. So the first thing you start with is a clove hitch, and there's a fun way to learn how to do this. And you loop your rope over like that, so you take your ends and then you loop it over again in the same way, and you've got your fish and your dish. So you can teach the loop first just to get in that motion, just going over the top. And then it's slightly harder for the second one, but once you get used to it, it's quite easy. So you've got your fish in the dish, and then you put your fish on top of your dish and pinch them. And again, these skills you can just repeat and repeat. You know, they can just be something which you learn over time. Take your fish in your dish, and then you thread it through your stick and pull tight, and that's a clove hitch. And that's a really easy way to teach them. There's lots of little discrete motions and movements which you can learn there, and it's also a very easy knot to kind of release the tension on as well. So you can just release the tension, move it up a bit, and then tie it up a bit until you're happy with where you want it to be. So that's the first part. There's your clove hitch, it's completed. Then we go on to the lashing part, and this can be done really easy if you've got a practitioner and a child working together. So you take your rope, you go under and then over. And that's the first part. So under and then over. And then you go back on yourself, so under, over, under. And that's the lashing, which you just repeat. So over, under, under, over, under, over, under, over. And you can kind of do that as many times as your rope allows. So I've got quite a long rope here, so I could do that once more just to get it really nice and secure. And if you're doing that with a participant or with a child, it's a really nice kind of slightly therapeutic motion, and it's a nice thing for you to do together. It's a nice way to build some teamwork. So once you've done that, and then you come up over, oh, that's just come undone, and then you come over and under once more. Once you get to this end and then you've gone over, you can then start to do what's called a wrapping. So we start with this side, to make sure it's nice and tight. You kind of want to be pulling it as much as you can to keep it really tight, and then wrapping around this middle knot, and that will just secure that. And I can do that, and it's just getting caught on a little knot there. And just secure that a couple of times, and then I can go over and do exactly the same with the other part. Just going over again and again. Kind of depends on how much rope you have, how many times you do that. But once I've done that enough times, I can go back over, back under, and then over. Pull it tight, and then you can finish off once round. So again, once round, twice round, through the loop, pull the rope through, quite a lot of rope still left, pull it all the way through, tighten it up, and then the two outside ones cross over each other, two inside ones, the one inside one, so it's like that. Adjust it. Your spare rope you can either cut off, depending on what you want to do. If you made a bigger one, it could be to use to hang a pot, but I can just leave that nice and neat and tidy, and you've got a lovely sturdy tripod.